As we sit in silence together just for a few moments, I welcome you to notice how you are. Notice what peace is for you and what peace is not for you. And anything that calls your attention in the silence is welcome. In your own way and in your own time, take a deep breath. Notice your shoulders and relax them. Notice your heart and honor it. Notice anything occurring in your mind. Notice your spirit, however you identify spirit. Take a deep breath and welcome the creative flow of life moving through you. And check in with yourself about your relationships, your relationship inward with yourself, your relationship with others, and your relationship with the greater entities that exist. When you feel ready, I welcome you to unmute yourself or type in the chat how you are and what peace means to you, if you want to share anything at all.
I'm good today.
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
I'm glad you're
Hi.
good.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Welcome. There is a teacher I like in the San Francisco Bay Area, and her name is Dorothy Hunt. And when I lived there, I would visit her for her satsang meditations, and I saw her individually as well for what she calls dokusan, which is teacher-student relationship in the tradition that she teaches in. And she's a psychotherapist, she's a mother, she's a grandmother. So I love these teachers who are very worldly beings who not only have a rich spiritual life, but are also living in the modern day era and doing all the things that so many of us do, figuring out how to do dishes and also have a spiritual practice, for example. So, this quote that I shared with you in the email for this gathering today, I'll read to you. She's also a poet. So, she's written a few books, and one of her books is a book of poetry. And this is from her book of poetry. She writes, "Peace is this moment without judgment. That is all. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome." And knowing her personally, I would say that she's referring to anytime we want to keep something out Anytime we want to avoid or distance or not look, that's a little bit of unpeacefulness inside of us. And to welcome peace is actually to look at what's challenging and welcome what's difficult and find what happens when the darkness meets the light, when what we are challenged by is met with love. And in that transformation, may it be peaceful.
I could share what came to me
Yes.
about peace. What I saw was that for me, it means noticing the emptiness and notice how it moves through my life, just how it moves, and be willing to take risks to embody it.
Mhm. What does the embodiment of peace feel like for you, Bayan?
It means just going with what I see. It's when I see the truth, then it's requiring my life to go in that direction, for me to take the steps that are being asked to go in that direction, even if they feel very uncomfortable, even if they feel scary. That, that's it. You know, it's not a
The
lot of
courage.
argument. Courage, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like moving forward clearly and consciously is very peaceful for you.
Yeah, it may not feel peaceful in the moment when I'm taking that action, but the end result is love and peace.
Mm.
So I've been noticing that in the last couple of days. What happens when I don't? When I say, oh, it's too scary, I'll do it later, or something like that. I notice the difference between that, the results of that, and the results of just, okay, this is the next leap that needs to be taken. It's totally different results.
And I imagine you're speaking of results, including the inward results, the results of how you feel
Oh, yeah,
inside.
it's all inner, the results are just how the action proceeds, how I feel in that moment, how I feel afterwards. Yeah, it's just very unique. It's not how I've lived my life in the past, but it feels like that's the calling.
Oh, I'm so glad you're listening.
Yeah, and to stop playing around, with, oh, I'll try not doing that, like I'll try feeling bad again. No.
Mhm. Hi,
Thank you.
Linda. I can see you now. Oh, here, let's unmute you. Here you go.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I'm not in a place of peace
Oh,
because I'm a slow learner with Zoom. And I've
oh,
been working on this since 11 o'clock. But
oh, you made
I'm
it.
delighted to be with you, to see you, and to meditate on peace. And now I can work into peace because I haven't been.
Oh,
So,
thank you for sharing that with us. I'm
so
so
now,
glad you made it.
yes, I'm glad too. And tell me if I need to do something or I'm not doing something because I I'm a slow learner, but I'm learning.
You
And it's
made it. You
yes.
look great. I can see you and hear you clearly.
Oh, that's great. And it's terrific to see you. And I noticed Katie. Hi, Katie. That's all I know.
Seeing you just fills my heart with joy and peace. It's just
Thank you. Yeah, I'm filling up with high test right now. High test gasoline. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all.
Any more check-ins about peace from anyone? Oh, and Adele writes, feeling very grounded and grateful after a family friend get together. Sleeping sound after a fun time feels like peace to me, for sure. I slept very soundly last night as well. Thank you for sharing.
knowing that the ones you love are well. My child finished the semester. Just like seeing Linda and knowing people are okay and happy. That feels very peaceful. Fills my heart with joy and peace.
I hear that connections are so meaningful to you, Katie.
Yes.
Is there anywhere in the world that anyone would like to send peace? So there's the inner peace inside that is treasured and important. And are there any relationships or worldly events or places that call to you that are wanting peace from your eyes?
The Christmas markets in Germany.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
The people in Palestine and Israel and Ukraine and all the people who do not have any peace any day.
Mm-hmm.
And how I personally take that for granted in so many ways. And this has helped me to voice that today, that I do think and hold these people up in thought and prayer.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'd like to send out a prayer for the political divisions in the United States following the election, recent election, and just I can see the sameness in each other, that which unifies.
Thank you. Any more places of peace? Any more send outs anywhere at all?
Peace in our families.
Mm-hmm. There was a day recently, it was an evening actually. I was driving in Burlington here in Vermont, and my partner Todd and I were on a date, which is rare these days, but ramping up, so super fun. And I was the one who was driving, and I was looking for parking. And we ended up in a spot of Vermont where there were a lot of people on the street, people by the dumpsters, people lingering and smoking and just not really clear what their purpose was. And so Todd said, let's not park here because it didn't feel safe to him. And so I was driving carefully in the street to go to a different neighborhood. And there was a woman who was walking in the middle of the street. And so I was driving very slowly because I was mindful that she was in the street, but she was very angry. And so she was yelling at me and she was flipping me off and how dare I? And I wasn't at all upset by her, but I noticed how upset she was with me. And I also thought it was so interesting that she was angry that I was driving in the street, which is where a car drives. But the street was like, it was like hers. It was like, how dare I go into the place where she is? And So it took a little while to get beyond that street, but I really, 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 really wish peace for her, because whatever that is for her, being in the street where it seems as though she feels belonging, yet it's also a street where a car might pass. There's a little conflict there. And may she know peace in a way that makes sense to her. Whatever it is that she needs, I don't know, but may she feel peace.
I want to send peace and love to my family also. And we are separated from them. But just before this happened, which was a little angst for getting on this meditation, our son Michael called, and he's in Massachusetts with his two daughters and his wife and their new baby, and one of the daughters' new baby and one of the daughters' new dog, and they're celebrating Christmas today. So that was lovely that he called and shared that, because I did not know that. I knew they were going to celebrate, but I thought it was on Christmas. I didn't know it was today. So that was good. And as Katie and Rain know, that my sister just recently moved, big move. She's 88 and she moved from Ohio back to Vermont. And it's been a real struggle. But she was telling me that Santa Claus came to their place and they had to write. There's 32 people that live in this home. It's not a nursing home, but it's a home. And they were to write 2 gifts. So Santa Claus came to give her gifts, and nobody knew who Santa Claus was. As it was, she taught him. The next day, they found out who Santa Claus was, and she had taught him years ago, like 40, 50 years ago. And of course, she didn't know him. And anyways, he became the young fire chief in Brattleboro. So he became a big deal. So that gave her great joy. And I'm sure she's blending in, and she's meeting a Brattleboro that she grew up in, but 60 years later, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
So I'm so thankful for that she's adjusting.
What
and
a
happy.
beautiful story.
Yes.
Yeah. And how peaceful for her
I know
and for
that
you.
Santa Claus would come, it's really pretty hysterical.
Yes.
Oh, she said he had beautiful blue eyes. So, but of course she didn't remember that from when he was a kid. Thank you.
I want to welcome Marcella. I see that you're here, and you can keep your video off if you'd like. You're welcome to chime in. We're just checking in about peace. And Adele, if you want to share anything or not, it's totally up to you. But any more?
When you said where in the world, my mind went to all the places where people are suffering. But for whatever reason, shortly thereafter, this big vision of these arms around the whole globe showed up for me. And it actually felt really nice to think about love and peace around the globe. Yeah, it just felt nice.
Thank you for that image. I love that image.
Hello. My battery is very low, so I'm charging, and as soon as I have more, I will put the camera.
Wonderful. It's great to hear your voice. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm going to put into the chat, in case anybody's interested, the link for the year-long meditation group that I teach in 2025. So we meet similar to this online with a private group. The purpose of that is that we create a very sacred and intimate setting where we all know each other. And as people join that group, we always know who is in the group rather than being surprised of who might come to the group. Now, the drop-in groups like this, the free events, are great because we want everyone to drop in. We want the more, the merrier. And it's a wonderful gathering of just finding out who we are together for this moment in time. And the private group begins in January. And if you use the code WINTER, you get 25% off through December 25th. So that's there for you, and you're welcome to ask questions about that today or email me anytime. But for today, we are meditating on peace. And the way that this gathering was inspired was a while ago now, when the Ukraine war began. I was very troubled by that particular war. I have loved ones in Ukraine. I have loved ones who are Russian, and where I'm not a person who favors taking sides, I do have a preference for Ukraine being a sovereign nation and being respected as such. And all the wars trouble me. And peace is such a wonderful quality to meditate on and welcome in and to find out about. So there are inner conflicts inside, there are conflicts in our relationships, and there are worldly conflicts, and they're all worthy of our love and attention and wishes for peace. And this gathering is to find out a bit about that, discover what peace means for us in this moment. And for the meditation, we will have some silence and we'll have some guidance. So is there anything in particular that you want to meditate on today? And it may or may not be peace. You might add in a different ingredient, and that is very welcome. What would you like to find in meditation today?
Something that I feel is this, how we can find the internal peace, no, between mind and heart, and be able to listen to the internal guidance also.
Yes.
So much, there is so much outside, and I get sometimes this kind of where to go. But yeah, and when I'm not in peace, I find difficult to reach that part of myself. So that is an intention that we all find that peace that allowed us to connect with who we are. Yeah.
Yes, with who we are. Mm-hmm.
Rain, for me, I think peace and acceptance, because I try really hard on the peace point, but then there's people who frustrate me, which I know is on me. So acceptance has to go with peace for me, I think, especially with groups of families getting together over the next few days.
Yeah. Yes, and perhaps maybe even acceptance around frustration. Ah, yes, frustration is here. Accepted, welcomed.
We just don't show it in the moment. I think that's the key. Yeah.
Yeah, frustration can be tricky in family events and gatherings of people. So I do hear you. And I love your intention of acceptance.
I think I'd like something around accepting aloneness when I find myself alone. As the mind sort of comes in and presents abandonment and survival and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, aloneness is so precious and it can be so lonely, and it can transform into a rich solitude. And so I hear the intention of accepting the aloneness.
I go back to yesterday at the library, which I was not there, but I found the poem. And it's maybe you can help me with this, Rain, but it was about love and ache at the same time, something like that. Do you remember that?
Yes. So what Linda is referring to is that I know Linda and Katie through the meditation at our local library in Vermont. So I get to see them every week. But right now, Linda is away. So I didn't see her yesterday. But for that group, I send out an email that includes the poem that I share for the meditation. So there is this lovely poem that I shared by Rosemerry Wahtola Trommer, who is one of my favorite poets. And I will read that poem to you at the end of today's meditation so everybody can be included in it. And it's true, that poem talks about the willingness to feel the longing and the ache in the opposite direction. So, where you have two things that are opposite, being willing to feel them both. And what that opens inside is aliveness, the raw life of our being.
Yes. And that's what I'm just going to try to talk briefly about, is that I got word that one of my dear, dear friends of old had died in September. Ooh. And nobody called me, her 4 children. So I thought, well, I sent her a card, and I just had a hunch. So I tried to look them up. They live in Maine now, and their kids are all married and have children and divorced and all of that. But I finally contacted, with cell phones, you can't get a number. So finally got a hold of one, and she called me, and she's in Colorado, and she felt terrible that nobody had called me to tell me. And so that in the end, when I ended that phone conversation, I said, this gives me such a heavy heart, to find out about my friend. But I says the love was my conversation with her about her childhood. And I knew these kids when they were little, but then she moved to Maine and we moved to Vermont. But anyway, she told me that she found her baby book in the attic and that I was listed several times, that she was a shy child, but Linda was the only one that she would run to whenever she saw me. So I mean, we have so much to share that they don't remember because they were little. So love ain't love and what's the other word? Pain. The
Pain
were combined in that phone conversation the same day of yesterday. So thank you for rain. You click in every time. I think you're always making these poems just for me. But I know they're for all of us. And thank you.
Thank you for allowing the poem to touch you. And I hear the pain and the love at the same time.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to meditate on memories.
Memories. Okay.
As a child grows into an adult, especially when that child is trans and doesn't want to remember, I'm trying to focus on those wonderful memories.
Yeah, just in this moment, Katie, I'm imagining that you get to treasure those memories of your child as a child. Like perhaps you become a memory keeper. So when your child is ready to open the treasure chest, you have it. You have it ready.
Thank you.
Anything else to share before we drift into silence together and meditate? Or anything to ask if you have any practical questions or mind ponderings. Okay, let's see, it looks like you're all muted already. Oh. Okay, so everyone is muted. And at the end, we'll have a chance to connect again, and the muting just takes care of any background noise. And we're already recording. So I welcome you to get really comfortable, whether you're sitting or walking or lying down or wherever you are. Allow yourself to be comfortable in your body. And that includes if you need a sip of something to drink or go to the bathroom, please take care of yourself. Take a deep breath into your body, however you like to, whatever a deep breath means for you. And wiggle your body a little bit. Just bring some gentle movement. Allow those nooks and crannies to get a touch of life, touch of energy, and find yourself in stillness again when you're ready. And as you sink into this silent stillness, practice accepting whatever arises. That means if aloneness or frustration comes forward, practice accepting it. If love and peace come forward, practice accepting that. If some inklings or a full embodiment of your true self comes forward, accept that. Whatever it is, practice accepting what you notice. Allow your breath to become steady and even. Breathe through your nose if you can. This slows down the breath. Peace in the body can feel relaxing. We can help relaxation along by slowing down the breath. And if you can't breathe through your nose, that's okay. Practice breathing slowly. Allow your jaw to drop if you can, opening up the large masseter muscle that is responsible for chewing and talking and all things mouth moving. That jaw muscle can help our minds to relax when it relaxes. Practice accepting yourself completely. Accept your physical form. Accept whatever is happening in your mind. Accept your heart and emotions of the heart. Take a deep breath and accept yourself spiritually. Accept your true self. Accept who and what you truly are. Listen for the guidance. Listen for the guidance that brings you inner peace. Listen to your own treasured voice deep within that guides you forward into a peaceful life, a peaceful world, and a peaceful being. Your inner voice might speak to you through images or sounds, or colors or words, or scents or tastes, or even a felt sense where it's completely nonverbal, just an inner knowing. However, your inner voice speaks to you, welcome it. Welcome your own true voice. Allow peace to guide you into memories that you cherish, whether they're memories of your life or memories that someone else has shared with you. Allow yourself a moment of reverie where you enter a dream-like state of enjoying what has been. It's okay to enjoy the past and notice how the past lives through us now, how the past influences the present. See if you can find at least one treasured moment that speaks to your heart today. Breathe in welcoming peace. Allow peace to touch you wherever you need it most. Breathe out, offering peace. Offer peace wherever you are called to offer peace, or simply offer peace. Practice breathing in and breathing out peace. And notice how this transforms you. Notice how you are touched by the intention of peace. What loosens? What softens? What is let go of? And what is embodied as you welcome peace, as you give it a gift of peace to the world? Here is the poem that was mentioned earlier. It's called The Opening, and it's by Rosemerry Wahtola Trommer. The opening. I feel it before dawn, the longing not only for light, but for the vast embrace of the dark. The way it links me to the farthest reachings of the universe. The way it holds each dull planet, each luminous star. Holds me with no question, no reservation. Holds all I love and all I have yet to learn to love. With each breath, I bring it into my body. Small sips of dark, great gulps of dark. Inside me, it swirls with my love of light. And this is how the certainties of the heart are erased when I love and ache in two directions at once. And what's left is so raw, so open, so alive. Take a deep breath again and allow your body to feel heavy. Notice anything you would like to share about peace or this meditation or yourself. Everybody is welcome.
I began feeling unpeaceful, and I am ending with feeling very peaceful. Thank you. Thank you.
I treasure that remark. Thank you, Linda.
He also wants to say thank you so much for holding this space for us and guide us. I felt like in the beginning is this kind of resistance to, it's like my energy is holding in some way, and then slowly surrender, and it was this beautiful weaving of what everyone was present. And the one that touched me more was this kind of acceptance. And when there is this acceptance, is no resistance. So the things open, and it's this sense of peace of what it is. And instead of reacting from fear or wants to control, is this kind of, I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you so much for being here. I think this is the first time we've gotten to meditate together.
Yes.
But we know each other through Nikki Kurtner, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, yes. That's what I thought.
What is familiar, and would say, what is it?
It's so good to see you again and see you in this form.
Yeah. And if you can send me the invitation for the group, it will be great. Yeah.
Yes, I'd be happy to. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also, Marcella, I love the reflection of guidance that you offered. That was a very beautiful part of this group for me today. Thank you for your wisdom.
Thank you, everyone.
I think when I mentioned acceptance earlier, I was thinking about others. And as we went through the meditation, and especially the last part of that poem, being someone who's quite sensitive, that it's okay to feel. And having been told you're too sensitive many times, I felt acceptance for being too sensitive.
Oh,
Right at the
wow.
beginning. So that's okay. I can feel that.
Yes. Yes. And that is a gift, Adele. It's so wonderful that you can feel that.
And you're not alone. The memories came and they were happy. And they were connected by Pooh and Piglet and Harold and Linus and Madeline, which is so me. and accepting that. And I just feel a peace and a oneness with who I am. And that little girl and the 60-year-old. So thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
I love the meditation. I just went all over the place. But I guess the place that touched my heart was when you said, offer peace wherever you're called to offer peace. And a great deal of sadness came up. Just, I can't really go into all why, but it's like I've searched for my whole life for peace. And now it feels like a flip side that I have this role of offering peace and fulfilling that. As I fulfill that role, the rawness comes out. And just accepting that rawness is okay. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, beautiful. Accepting the rawness is okay. Absolutely. I feel great peace with all of you. Thank you for being here today. There will be another free meditation like this in the spring. And in between now and then, there will be some free events on the other online platforms, like the social media platforms and things like that. So if you're connected with me, which you all are, you're welcome to come to anything that I offer anytime. And of course, there's also the podcast, which is at will. So every moment is sacred is my podcast. And there's a million meditations and healing conversations and some poetry offered there. There's even a couple of children's stories that my partner did last year for the kiddos in the audience, because funny enough, there are a number of children who listen to my meditations to fall asleep. So we have all ages in the audience on the podcast. That's really fun to know about. So anything else that anyone would like to say in closure, or any questions, or just anything at all?
Thank you, Rain.
Thank you.
Thank you for your illumination.
We're in the luminous together.
Yes. And love.
Am I on?
You're on. It's all you, Linda.
My picture went away. I don't know where it went. But anyways, I just want to say in the last meditation, I'm sitting in this sun that is so warm, and I'm listening to the ocean, and it is all wonderful. But I feel happy in my heart that in Charlotte, you have snow. And I heard that it's a white, fluffy, wonderful snow. And I think that is perfect for right now.
Yes.
So
thank you. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. And you're in the purity, and I'm in the ocean that never rests. It's always moving. I don't know how it lives and keeps going all the time. Sometimes harder than others, but it's still rolling in. Thank you, Ray. It's wonderful to see you.
Wonderful to see you too. And I love the ocean. I'm so glad you're there.
Yeah. I will send peace. I will comment too quickly on this. I forget her name already, but she talked about giving peace and how you gave the peace to the woman in the middle of the road. And I'm going to try that. See, every time you give me some little thing. So I'm going to send out peace, like right now, to you and all of you from the ocean and to the ocean.
Thank you.
I want to add, thank you for that. The giving part, no? Like I was listening to one of the elders in Colombia on Thursday, one thing that he mentioned is part of our purpose is to take care of life. And life starts with us, but also expands to everything. Lately, with all of the politicals and things, I feel like as a collective, we are in a kind of difficult moment, but going back to these simple acts of meditate, find true energy of peace in us, be able to change the vibration, and taking care of that, we are making a change in the collective because our vibration is real, and we transform and we open path for others to feel that too. So we'll hold this week this sending peace to the parts of the earth that need it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Oh, to whoever need it. Everywhere, I guess. Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Marcella.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you all. And does anybody want to make sure that their voice gets edited out of the replay? You can let me know now and I'll be sure to do it. Everybody feels comfortable? Okay, great. Okay, thumbs up. Okay, well, I'll see you all next time around. I'm so happy to be connected with each of you. Have a beautiful winter. Happy winter. We're already in winter. The light is already growing. We're past the solstice. So let there be light and enjoy it.
A wonderful holiday. Bye.
Bye, Adele. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Bye, Marcella.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
All right, be well.
Yes, and you be well.
All right. I have to figure out how to.
You'll probably have to end it. I have no clue how to end it.
Okay, I'll end it. 3, 2,
Yes.
1. Love you.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.